you feeling? You see he's up and moving?
That's because I'm here. That's because I'm here.
Well,
He just couldn't wait to see this.
well, he's upright. He's standing up.
Thank goodness.
What?
How you feeling?
Doing good.
Good.
Don't get to mention the YouTube stream.
Oh, yeah, thank you. This guy. Okay, you know what? I quit. Go ahead, John. We're streaming live on YouTube on the Recovery Room. Go to your search engine. Go to YouTube.
A little love.
A little love? That's right. I'm not
It's drooping. I don't like when that happens.
I'm not touching that dog. I'm not touching that anymore.
She's like a non-contract now.
Another show, guys. Come on.
Don't let Donna do it.
Secure with that.
I really quit now.
What have I gotten myself into here?
PG version of it.
Hey,
It's just a microphone, that's all.
That's right, just speak into it, having a little closer.
how you doing, Dora? How are you?
I've never been better in my life, Christy. No, I'm serious. I've never been better. I saw you guys on here and fell in love with you and insisted that I come on here with you. I got a hold of Tim and he let me come on here and show the other face of addiction. You know, we always think it's somebody like, you know, the black guy, the homeless guy, whatever, woman, and you know, I'm the face of addiction, Chrissy. And so are you. Look at these faces.
And we'd never think we would have been where we've been, I'm sure. We've gone through what we've gone through.
I'm writing a book.
Seriously, it's like when you think about the usage or the withdrawal, I mean, you and I go through both the same, whether, you know, I'm at this stage and you're at this stage, or you kind of, it's all
connected.
we all experience it, and it's experienced, of course, all in a different way, but, you know, I'm sure we can probably all concur that, well, it sucks.
It sucks.
And it's not something you'd really ever think you'd invite yourself to go back to again, which is one thing I don't understand about myself is why have I relapsed so many times?
Why did you start?
Why did you start? Why have I,
You know, that's a
there you go, and it's a good question. It's why would I do this to myself again? Why did you start with?
Well, a lot of people started with just, I hurt my shoulder, or a car accident thing, and just taking the doctor prescribed it, so it's okay. And then the doctor prescribed something else, and then something harder and harder, and then they get off it, but they're already addicted to it.
That's my story, Sean. I was thrown from the third floor balcony in 1978, and I broke everything in my right side. I spent 2 years in a wheelchair. They're not knowing if I would ever walk again. And I started about 5 years after that in a karate tournament, slipped and fell and broke my tailbone and my back again. And I started on something called Stenaldus DC with codeine in it, and it was lovely. It was beautiful. And it went to all the way to a 37-year opiate addiction to Oxycontins, which are synthetic heroin. And that's what made me want to come and talk to you guys, because when I heard Terry T-Bone say he was a heroin addict, and we sat down and talked, I realized talking to him, so was I, so am I, so am I. I am. I'm very clean. And one of the reasons I wanted to come on here, the main reason, I guess, is I never thought about doing the show with you guys, or, you know, the amount of love that we've gotten from this is just, oh my God, I've been crazy on Facebook for the last couple of days.
You ever seen some of the posts and like 400 comments or whatever?
I'm loved, what can I say, you know, and it's amazing.
Hi, George. George says, look at all those smiling faces.
Aww. Hi, George. I can see you smiling too. But anyway, I wanted to come on here and just kind of do some awareness and really to check myself. If I own it and I state it in public, I'm the type person that I have to walk it. So I've talked it long enough, I've talked it to my friends, I've talked it to my family, I talked it to everybody.
That's what nobody-
The doctors, the pharmacists.
Nobody wants to hear the talking
Talk to everybody.
Yeah.
They're tired of hearing me talk.
They don't want to talking.
They don't want to hear it anymore.
And that's actually, I read a quote that said, promise without change is manipulation.
You said that.
Yeah, I said that the other night. And there's that skill
she's
that's
talking to me.
like right in that same kind of attribute of level there. It is. And, when you're in your addiction or an active addiction, I think half of everything you're doing is manipulation.
Oh, half? You think only half?
Well, there you go. There you go. You see, it's just as being that I was always I used by myself all the time. I wasn't out a party or this, that, or whatnot. I was always on my own, or like you said, nobody knew of yours, so it's like you just did your day. You did what you had to do to get by, and
I did. And that was what I was doing. I started out with legitimate pain, and the next thing I knew, my biggest pain was just trying to feel normal today, just trying to feel. I would look at my cat walking past me and think, I want to be normal like you. I just want to be out of pain. That's sad when you feel that way, and then you get sick and tired, and you're either high and buzzing, or you're like detoxed and out of it.
And then you're looking at your cat going, I can't even get up and feed you because I don't even feel good enough to get up and feed you.
You know what? I just got a new kitten. 4th of July, I got a brand new kitten, and she is becoming so famous on Facebook. People love her. I mean, they like her better than they do me. And it's amazing how when I brought her home, I fell into detox. Yes, everybody, that's why I've been sleeping mostly. That's it, detoxing from the pills, didn't want to tell anybody, lie. But I looked at her when I went to bed, and I laid there for a few minutes, and she came up and she jumped on me, and I thought, oh, wow. I have a baby now. I can't stay in bed.
No, you
I
got something
forgot
to
about
replace it
her.
with. You got
So
something
she
to
got me
replace it
out of
with.
bed, Miss Tia.
I have to tell Miss Judy here. That's her name.
Judy.
Welcome along, little Miss Kitty Tia.
We'll bring her on the show one night.
Oh, I don't know. Let's see how Leia likes her.
Oh, that's right. Yes, she'll love her a lot, won't she? And we'll be able to take
With barbecue sauce.
No leftovers. She growls at me, Layla does.
Judy says in Sarasota she saw a beautiful Mercedes convertible with an Illinois plate that read Oxy. Big pharma owners on board members visiting here on vacation, perhaps.
Wow.
A big pharma running around with your Bentleys and Mercedes.
Paid for by the pharmacies, I'm sure.
And for everyone out here,
And
that,
everyone else
the
has been
struggle's
getting from it.
real.
The struggle is real.
It's insane, and I think that's the hardest. And I found this last, and I'm open with it. I am currently on the MAP program. I'm on medically assisted treatment, and I know a lot of people, a lot of ones have their own opinions about that, and
You're getting help. That's my
but you know what? I know that I didn't use today, I didn't use yesterday, I didn't use last month, and I'm counting, I'm being able to, I've never been a day counter, but I know when I can just look back and know that I haven't used, and that, so if it's what works for me, sometimes depending on time, it's a little much, but I'm still adjusting to my meds. It's just now my second month in with the doctor. I actually went private. I didn't go just to like a county clinic. I went to a private doctor because I wanted, I actually could go to 3 different clinics and they would write me a script for my oxys.
Sure.
But they could not write me for Subutex. So I found it easier. It took me 3 out of 4 doctors, the ones I could even have appointments and get into, that would write me for the drug, but they won't write me for the antidote.
That's insanity.
I'm like,
That's
can you
It's
explain
insane.
this to me? So you'll give me a bottle of Roxy's, but you won't give me a month worth of Subutex. And it made no sense to
No,
me.
it
And I'm
doesn't.
like,
It doesn't.
so with everybody, especially out there, that if you're trying to get help, help is super, super hard
Yes, it is.
to come across, and I think that's wrong. It's easier to obtain the poison than it is the antidote. And
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
fair.
Well, we start wanting the poison, we don't want the antidote. you know, until we get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Right.
I
That
couldn't
is
live
for
my life
sure.
anymore. I was watching Facebook and all of my friends are out there partying and having fun together, and I'm at home. Wow, I'm sorry I missed that one tonight. Wow, yeah, I got Sleeping Beauty syndrome. Sorry, I'm sleeping.
Not feeling it.
Yeah. You know, it's like I said, if I say it, I have to own it. You know, and I'm already feeling better every day. I mean, every day I'm feeling better.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not in my pajamas today. Actually, these are my pajamas.
Everybody-
This is how I sleep.
Everybody do a dance for Doris. Not in her jammies today.
Seriously,
Hey.
how many hundreds, probably 1,000 days have I laid in my pajamas and just stuffing Oxycontins up my nose and watching the world go by? Watching my husband suffer through it too. My wonderful husband who adored me so much. Yeah, I had a deer farm. Did you know I was a deer farmer? I did, Christy. You never know about people. My husband and I had a deer farm. That was our hobby. And we bottle fed baby deer every summer.
See, I was going there, I was like thinking like the steam coming off after it came off the barbecue grill, but you're talking.
Oh, well, you're a hunter. You're the one I would be tearing down your stand and kicking your ass. I mean, your bottom when you came over. But anyway, I had this beautiful life and I wasn't able to live it. It was one day I was marrying the man of my dreams, and it was the social event of the year, and everyone, it was the fairy tale, happiness. We were so in love. And I broke my back on my wedding night, falling off of a John Deere Gator. Of all things, I fell off of one of our little farm tractor we were taking to go down and close our gates on the property. And the wind caught under my dress, in the tail of it, whatever you call it, and it wrapped around the back wheels of the Gator and it jerked me off onto the ground, and the next thing I know, I'm on the ground with the back wheel up to my back. And
Wow.
so I had to go to the doctor. Of course, this was late Saturday night. I had to go to the doctor on Monday and get something for pain because I was going on a honeymoon, a cruise around the French Riviera.
You want to bet? Yeah.
Nobody's going to miss that. I'm not, that's for sure. But I hadn't touched pain. I have had several. Let me just say, I've had several, of course, over the last 37 years, bouts with stopping the pills, starting them again, stopping them, starting them again, stopping and starting. Was it T-Bone said the other night, the only, was it the bad pill is the first pill? No, the only good pill is the only first buzz is the first buzz or something. And
One is too many and 1,000 is not enough.
I wasn't even close. It was one is too many and 1,000 is too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
One is too many
He's
and
pretty smart.
thousand's never
Not as smart
enough.
as her, but yeah.
That's
You know,
been-
actually, I was talking to my life coach, best friend and life coach, and she's also my writing coach and my publisher. So in a few months, I will have my book out about my adventures, my Oxycontin trip or opiate trip. But anyway, we were talking today, and she asked me, when did I have my first taste of the drug, of like a pain pill or something? And I said, I think when, you know, when I broke my back again, you know, in early 80s. And as we were talking, I said, no, wait a minute. I said, when I was 11 years old, I got my appendix out. It was an emergency surgery. And they gave me this thing called Demerol. Oh, that was lovely.
That's an old school drug.
Oh, well, I'm an old girl. I may look like 40, but I'm going on Social Security this year.
Crazy.
Do I?
Hence the generational thing.
Oh.
The older drug, the newer drug.
Right,
Yeah.
that's if Demerol in your day, that'd be like the difference for, you know, today you go in and sometimes they'll be like, you know, okay, you know, we'll give you some, you know, if it's by mouth, it's a little, you know, the Percocet or your Vicodin, or, oh, we'll give you a little morphine, and,
Well, I want the
you know,
Dilaudid and the morphine.
ex-
Give me the Dilaudid. I still have a
exactly,
scribble.
You asked for it by
it's
name.
not,
Yes, right, I can spell it too.
it's not until you actually get to the delight, and that's what most people are looking for, and then that's why it's so hard now if you really need it to go in there and get it.
Yeah, it
And-
is.
You know,
It
I
is.
can't blame them. They're trying to cover their selves, but at the same point, I don't appreciate going to the hospital. Pain can't get help either, but
That's true. That's true.
You know.
That's true.
I think now, you know, how do you plan on approaching that now that you're, you know, you know, say if something were to happen right now and you were to be back in that position, would you, would you take a script to, you know, go get filled? And, you know, if you were to hurt yourself right now, you know, unfortunately, you know, hurt yourself, would you take pain meds now? Or would you try to go without, or? I know, I get that asked, because people ask me
that's
now
the best
that.
question you could have asked me. If I had something like heart surgery, or, open heart surgery or some major surgery, of course, for a few days, I'm gonna have to take something.
Oh,
But I'm
of
gonna
course.
tell the doctor first, listen,
Right.
I'm an addict, and this is one of my favorite things. You're Dilaudid, whatever you're giving me. Let's try something different, maybe a little less narcotic, or, you know,
Right.
he will know then how much to give me and how to control it. And not let me have it if I beg him for it, and it's up to me not to beg him for it.
Right.
You know, there's a lot to be said for that. I was talking also to my writing coach about blaming the doctors and the pharmacists and things like that. And, I asked for that first prescription, not knowing. And the problem was, I think the responsibility, if I look at it, should have been with me to research what she gave me. If I had known it was addictive, would I have taken it? Maybe, maybe not. I've always had that addictive kind of personality. My mother was an alcoholic. You know, it comes through on those things. But I manipulated doctors. I was so charming and so sweet to them and so good at the it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. But I also had times where I stopped it. I went through the withdrawal, and on each day got a little better, a little better. I'd ride my bike with my husband. I would do things, you know, and I would stay real good off of it. And the next thing you know, something else would happen. And here we go.
And so for Sean, he's like a complete opposite. This man here is.
Like, when I cut my finger off and they put it back on, nothing for pain.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
it hurt.
No, he's going through everything. Like,
You know, but I've had over 200 cracks in my spine, shattered my pelvic area 4 times, broken both the balls off my femurs, broke both my femurs, always nothing for pain.
no pain meds.
Wow.
He's like
Wow.
superhuman titanium or something over
I mean,
here.
I don't like pain. Don't give me, you know. Which is a concern for me, when I do my liver transplant, they're gonna actually put a pacemaker in also, and the liver, and I don't want anything for pain. You know, I mean, they're gonna put me under, do the surgery, and like, that's that. You know, so,
It's just
for me, that's, you know. What?
keep talking. So.
Oh, I don't know, I'm seeing sign language.
You all can't see T-Bone's over there going, direct.
I don't know what he's trying to say, because I.
He said, "Just talk."
So for me, like, I just don't take pain pills.
Is that because you don't like how they make you feel?
They don't work.
They don't work.
They don't work.
I had such a tolerance that mine didn't work after a while either. And that's
What-
why I went from Percocet or Vicodin or Synagis to Oxycontin. After a while, the Oxycontin didn't work. I was taking 80 milligrams, 3 at a time.
See, I did that
That's
train.
deadly. 'Cause anybody will tell you it's
I
deadly.
did that train, but then I transferred to heroin because that wasn't working, and then I went to fentanyl,
Wow.
and that put me
Wow.
on the bathroom floor.
You're lucky, Christy, because I had
I
5
am
people at
lucky.
least today telling me that their sons, their teenage sons, no daughters, not any reason, I'm sure, just, you know, these women had sons, that they died of fentanyl.
I
One of
was-
my friends lost her son to a fentanyl overdose, and he was not a drug addict. He did take a pain pill and then took a fentanyl with it, and boom, died.
Yeah.
Died very young, you know,
Yeah.
So
so.
it's a dangerous drug.
I,
Oh my
I
God,
was
it's
really
deadly. It's
lucky.
deadly.
He heard me gurgling from the other room. Man, right there saved my life.
Thank you,
This
God.
is
Thank you, T.
Not anybody. I know you're out there chasing it. Sometimes it's hard, and you know, as we know, and as we've been talking about, the detox is not fun. But there are
100%.
places you can go to help you detox, and it's. I know the PTSD that, you know, just the post-traumatic stress that it puts on people after your loved ones have, you know, they say it's hard to love an addict.
Oh, yeah.
When you've put your loved ones through situations like that, you know, or your spouse or your companion, you know,
When you put a drug ahead of them.
those are things that are very hard to come back from, you know, if possible. And it's scary stuff, and you
Very
know,
scary.
so
With the family thing,
Oh,
you just
yeah.
gotta take it one day at a time and show the family that, hey, look, I'm not using, You know, I woke up with the strength of God inside me today. And I'm
Amen.
not gonna touch it today, and then the next day, next thing you know, you got 10 years under your belt. You know? But if you go in there looking, I'm gonna quit for 10 years.
Too much to
That's
shoot
too
for.
much.
Yeah.
Do it, just take it a day at a time.
No,
Take it an hour by an hour.
my addict mentality. That's what I say. If I think about something, it's either 15 or 30 minutes. If I feel the same way in 30 minutes, if it's something bad, I'll give it another 30 minutes. If I feel the same way in 30 minutes, then I'll go get high. If I feel the same way in 30 minutes, you know, but if you talk yourself through those, you know, then an hour goes and then a day goes. I say a day at a time. It's however you take it at a time. Sometimes you got to break it down. My mentality is sometimes I got to break it down. Those 20 minutes seem like forever, you know. I got to take what works for me.
And that's
But-
what we all have to do. We're gonna go through, you know, if somebody wants resources and stuff, you guys have all of that information.
We're getting more every day.
And we're gonna get more and more and more, I have a feeling, because we're getting a lot of notice here.
I
A
like
lot of
this
people want to
here.
make a difference and want to help their loved ones, and like Timon said, I've been just with so much encouragement and comments and
Absolutely.
you know, my friends coming on and watching you guys the other night, and I thought, oh, that was so cool. That we're increasing the network, increasing the awareness.
Oh, yeah.
And that's another reason I wanted to come out. Well, the reason I wanted to come out really was to be accountable. Like I said, now I want to take it as far as we can. I want to help as many people
Yeah,
as we
definitely.
can. I want them to stop that stuff. Just stop it. As I told you, people used to say to me, stop that. Why don't you just stop? Why don't you just stop it?
Yeah.
Quit doing that, you know? If it was that easy, I wouldn't be doing that.
I was
Because I
watching-
knew I should stop it a long time ago,
I was
right?
watching the news and they were talking about how the pharmaceutical companies are losing so much money because now they can get,
Oh,
people
poor
can buy
guys.
the marijuana pills or whatever else, and it's CBCC, whatever, is it?
CBD?
CBD, yeah. And-
CBD oil? I don't know. I'm not educated on all that. I
Right
don't
there,
think.
on, and let me
There's a big
catch
difference
up
in that
right
and medical
here.
marijuana.
We've got hi Jen, and we have Kimberly on here from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hello,
Hi
Kimberly.
Kimberly. Hi Jen.
Kimberly.
Judy, thank
love
you
Carolina.
for posting on this.
My sister lived in Greenville, South Carolina.
Ah,
I got good barbecue.
welcome,
Oh, yes, they do.
welcome.
Three Pigs, I think my brother-in-law loves the most. Something called Three Pigs.
Uh,
Has to be good.
All right, very good. Well, welcome, welcome. We're happy that you're all in here watching with us.
Nice, isn't it?
It's absolutely
not
wonderful. Well, and just take the time. You know, it's about awareness and knowing that everyone is going through. You can always say that someone's going through something, but
Always,
you
always.
never realize how many people are in it with you as well. You
That's what I'm finding
when
out.
they say
That's
the
what I'm
struggle is
finding
real,
out.
everybody, and sort of we may all be bunched in our own struggles, but united, we're all just trying to make it happen. And then that's where just the love, and then
Love.
just the kindness and a kind word just goes so far, is because nothing's different really between all of us. We're all trying to do the same thing.
Yep. And we've all
And-
done some of the same things.
Right. And if we'd all just maybe help each other, you know, step up. That's T always says, you know, it's a step work, you know, it's not an elevator, it's you have to do the step
That's
work,
right.
you have to take the steps, you know, and it's taking the steps and just, you know, hey, start with being just having some dignity and some clarity and some sanity and some serenity.
Well, I had to till you got to that sanity
What?
thing. I don't think that fits me at all.
Well, that,
You've never been sane.
I said a little bit of.
I can handle
I wasn't
that.
trying to like pass the test 100%.
Okay.
That's a little bit.
I can stay insane just enough to be fun.
Hey,
I
you're all
can-
good.
I handle it.
nowadays with unfortunately so many people passing away, you know, from overdosing and just, or being over medicated, whatever it may be, it's almost like it's become acceptable.
Yeah.
Like you watch,
Yeah.
oh, well, so-and-so just died, and so-and-so just died,
Yeah.
you're watching the news, and it's every day, like, I don't even, like, it makes you cry watching the news, you know? And like, say, 20 years ago, there was like a big black cloud over, oh my God, they're a drug user, they're this
Elvis
and that.
Presley and Prince and,
Yeah.
and Whitney Houston.
But
and
no,
everybody.
those were
Even
prescribed
Whitney, they were
meds.
like,
Those
okay,
were-
yeah, well, she was on drugs.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we lost a lot of really great musicians,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they thought they were doing the right thing because it was prescribed by a doctor. No, I'm beating up doctors over this, I'm just saying.
Yeah, we can't do that. They
that-
have just so much they can do too,
Um,
and they have compassion. So for me, I know a lot of them didn't believe me, but they wanted to because I was so convincing. But we can't blame them all.
No.
You know? Some we can. I had a few that handed me way too many prescriptions to the point where my pharmacist called him and said, "You're over-medicating him." And guess
Well-
what happened? He still gave them to me.
Well, and that's what I found actually a couple years ago, prior to me just stopping. When I was actually going to a pain management clinic in Tampa, he was in, what do they call it, cahoots or whatever, with the pharmacy up around the way. So he'd go ahead, oh, you want to get your stuff quick? So of course everybody's trying to walk out and get their meds right away.
Yeah, because he's throwing those
So
expensive prescriptions
he,
right through that
he was
pharmacy.
throwing them through his pharmacy. I mean, you came in there, they were in straight bulletproof, whatever. I mean, it was like an operation, but it was like pretty much led by my doctor. He sent everybody there. So it was kind of the, oh yeah, we're going to fill whatever, because,
Drug dealing. They're
now
doing drugs to
even
drug dealers. I'm sorry.
I
They're
found
drug dealers, not all
trying
of them.
to get my Subutex, I could not get at one pharmacy because I usually use another pharmacy. So even for my MAT drugs, it doesn't work. Yet I've not had that problem before doing it with straight,
with the narcotics.
with the
and- yeah,
narcotics.
and stuff. Yeah.
It just
Crazy.
makes no
It
sense.
doesn't.
Because
It
you're trying to
doesn't.
get help, you're trying to get better, and
And
Like the-
it's harder than the rest, and it's insane.
it's easier to get the drug than it is the drug itself.
Right, and then now when you're finding the doctors that are setting up with the pharmacies, I'm sure they're pretty happy, okay, let me sign so many people up a day, I'm making so much.
That's job security for the pharmacist. I'm sorry, but job security.
Judy just said entertainers like Elvis, Prince, Whitney had many enablers around them to
That's
get
right, I
stuff,
did
and
too.
the artists didn't take no for an answer. They
That was the
did.
same way, Christy, exactly. Judy, you just spoke exactly how I was. Anybody who knows you will tell you that I got my way.
And then Judy says
I got
faith
what I
is
wanted, and they had no choice but to let me because I wasn't going to let down.
all right. Well, and I know my pain management doctor pretty much, he's like, as long as he could do the nerve, ending the nerve
The injections,
blocking,
the nerve
yeah, the
blocking
nerve
and
blocking.
the cortisone. And
If I, because they're a couple $100 a piece. Okay, I do the nerve blocking pretty much. He'll write you whatever script you want because your insurance is paying for it. So he'll keep you as long as you're going to do the procedures. He'll keep you on there because it's money.
And he's following the laws that have been made for those kind of doctors that want to deal drugs.
But does he really know anything about me medically? Absolutely not, or you would have known
Doesn't
that my
care.
liver was already shot, and you should have never been prescribing me that to start with.
That's right.
But
That's
they-
right.
they
and
don't
he would have
look
been
there.
talking to you a little bit too. Like I had a few really good ones. That Dora, what's really going on here?
Right.
I even had
I'm
one
sorry.
doctor, bless his heart, after I had my son passed away when he was 18 in 1990. And that, oh, thank you. I'm blessed though. He was a great kid, and I get to do a lot of grief counseling and help a lot of mothers that go through it. So it's a blessing. But this doctor, I went to him, and of course after the death, I was depressed and just horrible. And I went to him and I said, I need something. I need some sedative or something like this, and I can't function, and my back is hurting me, and I need something for pain. And I knew his 16-year-old daughter had died the year before, but I never really connected it. But the minute that I did have that connection with him, I thought, ooh, I got him. He's going to give me this now. And he looked straight at me, and the old guy said, I'm not your dealer. I'm your doctor. He said, I'm not giving you anything. And I thought, ooh, and to this day, I still love him. I love him.
Well, and the way you could
I
have
was
saved
mad
his life,
then, I didn't like
you
him
know?
then, he probably did because it was right after my son died, so.
Right.
My only child at 18, I kissed him goodbye, and the next thing I know, I never saw him alive again. So you can imagine a drug addict, how you're gonna do at a time
How
like
are you
that.
going to cope with that?
And I
Yeah.
actually went through it very well, very well, but not so well. That, if I hadn't had the pain medication and the pain and the emotional issues that I already had, then I would be, I would have been better. My writing coach and I were talking today about when, like I said, when did my first taste of drugs start? And I said at 11 years old when I had my appendix out. And then 12, I was in the hospital for a week with ulcers. Again, they gave me Demerol and stuff. It actually started when I was probably 4 or 5, Christy. when my mom had parties at the house and had all these drunks around. And I'm going around entertaining them and drinking their beer and their drinks. And what are you doing? I'll entertain you. I hear a story. and I
You're
thought
quite the
about
performer.
that. Oh, I've always been a ham. I've always been a ham. It's always been all about me.
But I bet nap time was like, nap time.
I couldn't function. I couldn't function for a long time. For a long time on that one. I just covered my head up, take some more pills, and go to bed. Just go to bed. But, you stay there or you get out of it. It's just like the drugs. When you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you'll finally make a choice and do it. I mean, you can't force yourself to do it. You can. I mean, I guess you can. You can kind of force yourself, can't you, T-Bone? Can you make yourself get up and do it?
I mean,
If you're really ready? I guess we have to make ourselves. No, we can think of it now.
I think you can, and sometimes you do, but I know I've had days sitting there, thankfully, in this past recent deal, when I'm just like, it's not even worth it. It's not even prepping it, worth it doing it, worth it doing it, and it's just like, I have no interest in doing this. It's not worth the effort to even get up and try.
Yeah.
And somewhere I found some sort of peace inside of my head that was like, okay, we're done. Okay, you've been to this bus stop, you're done. A bus does not stop here anymore.
That's right. That's right.
And it was a darn good feeling.
Probably a lot of it was like, well, I'm going to lay in bed for myself, but I've got to get up and take care of I'll take care of Sean.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way to help yourself, is help someone else. That's what I do in my grief counseling. Every time, people will say, oh, you do grief counseling? Oh, isn't that hard? Like, well, no, not really. I just listen to somebody who loved their child.
Right.
That's not hard.
No.
And ask them, what are you going to do? You're going to make a choice now. You're going to choose to be happy again and work at it and work and work and work, or are you going to just stay in this and be miserable? So I guess the same thing with drugs. I would say you're going to stay in it and be miserable, or you're going to make a choice and do something different. So when I realized, okay, I can't stay in grief forever. It just doesn't work. I mean, I can, but it's not going to be pleasant. I'm not liking where I'm at right now. Right now, I'm feeling like my whole world is gone. How am I going to breathe again? How am I going to live again without my child? And it hit me that, wait a minute, I have to live. I didn't die, he did.
Oh, wow.
So I have to live my life, I have to live. And how do I want to live it? Do I want to live like my mother did? My brother, when I was 7, he was 10, he died, he got hit by a car in Kentucky and was killed. And my mother, who partied and drank a lot, left my father when I was a baby. She went into horrific alcoholism, Christy. And the things that happened to me, I don't even know if I can write them in my book. But, we have to make a choice on how we want to get through something and have a plan and have a goal. Where do I want to be? A month ago, I'm laying there doing the Facebook thing. All my friends are. New Year's Eve, I got up and I went out and I had a ball. And that fired me up. So now I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of missing my friends and parties. I'm going to be everywhere. I'm going to be everywhere now. So I'm having fun, and I want other people to find that.
That is such a big, when you're not out chasing something, it's not about sitting there waiting to get high, or waiting for your drug dealer, or waiting for this, or waiting for something. But when you can just be waiting on this guy right here.
Talk about that. Come on.
I am still alive, but I am just sitting back here watching and enjoying this conversation. I just wanted to touch on the fact that if you're not a member of the Recovery Room family yet, please go on and join. Share your strength, share your hope, your experience. Just like as Dora's doing, this series, as we like to call it, is called The Face of Addiction. And never 2 years ago, whenever we started this thing, never would I have thought that we'd have these three pretty faces on screen having this really intense conversation. And so I think that it's working. But our topic today, again, if you are on our Facebook family, you'll see the topic every day because Christy posts it. Was Sail On. Sail on, honey. That song.
Oh, come over here with her, You don't have to lean in. We haven't taken over your show yet.
No, listen, you be prepared because I'm giving it to you.
Ain't put that on me, but I'm standing up there. Keep liking me.
I'm giving it to you.
It won't like me after a while.
No,
Tired of nagging them about getting clean.
no. They actually will love you, and they will have. What I'm finding as I sit back and look, what I'm finding is that you are going to allow a lot of people the opportunity to say, "Hey, here's me."
Here I am.
And we know that the truth was the first thing that's going to set you free. You know what I mean? And as George Clinton would say, free your mind and your ass will follow.
I'm not sure if my mind, my mind and my ass are connected. Now that I think about it, they are. They certainly are, because I don't know how many times I've shown my ass and thought I shouldn't have done that in my mind.
But yes, did you quote that? I got it. It's on my phone and I can't see it. But there was a quote that we posted on there that said something to the effect that most people spend their time thinking about how far they have to go, not understanding how far they've come. You know, and the last part of the quote, which is somewhat prophetic to me, and I'm gonna be using it a lot. It said that smooth seas never are made for a skillful sailor.
That's right. If I'm going to cross the ocean in a storm, I want an old salty dog. You feed that young guy. Well, he can come along and carry the ropes.
Yeah. That boy.
Be in charge.
No.
Yeah.
But
you're right. Yeah.
so what I've heard here tonight with all the stuff is going to, because yes, there's this picture that yes, I was a socialite and all that, but at the end, underneath all that, there were moments and things of pain and trials and tribulation. But did you recognize that there was a smile behind that? And so that is your perspective. You've gone through some stuff, girl.
Oh gosh, you have no idea.
You know, but you're still smiling, and so those trials and those tribulations and those things that you have been through are what have made you the person that you are today. But based on how you perceive them, based on how you dealt with them. See, some people take stuff and they hold on to it for dear life.
Oh, I know.
It becomes their friend. It becomes their family.
Right.
What is family? Familiar.
Familiar.
You know what I mean?
Familiar.
So they stick with what they're familiar with. You know what I mean? And that doesn't matter. That doesn't, whether it's pain, whether it's whatever. So I suggest very strongly that you let's go. Okay, so here you go. You got a classroom full of kids, right? And the teacher asked, what if you had the chance right now, and God or Santa can give you anything, what would you want? And the kids said, hey, all the stuff. Oh, I want a bicycle. I want to, I'd like, back at that time it was Etch a Sketch.
Yeah, I remember that. That was so much fun.
But the teacher said, well, why? I don't understand. You should ask for intelligence. You should ask for wisdom. You should ask for knowledge. And the teacher said, well, these kids were asking for things that they didn't have.
Yeah. The things that
they had the knowledge, they had the intelligence, and they didn't know it though. And so that's what we go through this life where we have this whole thing where we got everything that we need, but it's our perspective on it, how we go about dealing with it that determines the outcome. I got a friend that today called me, and it was something, they called me about something that I did that was good.
They did?
Yeah, but they took it and turned it around.
I was waiting for this thing.
And I'm like, only you, with your perspective, could take that good thing and somehow make it bad.
Yeah. It's like I can't get any positive things in this person and make them stick.
Yes, it's not going to happen because that's their perspective on life. Every other word out of their mouth is going to be something negative or something bad that has happened. Not understanding that as the shot guru would say, is that it will happen. It is your life, isn't it so?
It is so.
It's so. Things are going to happen. You're going to live it. If you have the opportunity to choose between a pleasant life and a life of despair, which would you do?
I don't know. What would you do, Sean?
Try to go between both.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit of both.
I want happiness.
Yes, and happiness.
We want everyone. We want
But we have that choice. Simply put, we have that choice. Isn't it so?
And that's why I smile, T-Bone.
There you
because
go.
I made that choice.
You made that choice, and
I
so that's what
choose to smile at
that's what we want for you guys. If we can give you anything, and like I said yesterday, and I'm talking to everybody, but it's only a few people out there that are going to get it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
if you were ready.
If you're ready for it, you're going to get it. And so what we want to give you is just this hope, that this thought that you can make a decision today, that down the road, 5 or 6 months, a year, 2, 3, 5, 20, you'll be glad that you made that decision that day and kept on that pace, because your life will change drastically. You are the navigator. And you're the captain of the vessel. That's another one of them old funk songs, but they're coming out of me. You're the captain of
I'm not
this
driving
vessel.
the crazy bus anymore. Then
Yeah, you're the captain of the
Maybe the
vessel.
captain of the yacht.
Yeah, you can. But see, I know people that choose to drive the crazy bus.
No, I want that
I
yacht.
talked to one today.
I want the rich
So you
man
got to be crazy.
Sean, you know you
Got the rich man.
Come on. We won't tell all your secrets. That's another joke.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, my drum roll. There you go.
Yeah. Listen, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know.
Box control,
Absolutely.
you asked that.
I'm please, thank you, God. You know how many days and nights.
Your boredom is over, my friend.
Thank you.
Your boredom is over.
I did this show for 2 years by myself.
I'm sorry.
3 years by myself. I thought I didn't have any friends except they were in this box right here.
I'm not your friend. I just wanted to I love you, T-Bone. I love
No.
you. The first time I heard you talking and saw your heart and heard your words, that's why I'm here.
Well, good.
Because I thought, you know what, God? I hear it. I hear it and I feel it. I need to talk to this man.
Well, great.
I
I'm
need
glad you
help.
showed up.
And
You
I
really
also
increased our
wanted to-
viewers.
I am good. Glad we're
Works for
working
me.
more. See, you know, well, I'm a stand-up
I'm
comedian
just
too,
kidding.
so maybe we'll do some shows.
Speaking of a joke, I got a good joke.
Oh, good.
Okay, so Pirate walks in. I told you something, so you won't laugh. Well, you'll laugh again. Pirate walks into a bar, right? And the bartender recognizes him and he says, "My God, man, what has happened to you?" He said, "Well, we had a battle, and hey, this is battles are as battle goes. I'm doing fine. Don't worry about me." He said, "Well, you got a peg leg. What happened?" "Well, I couldn't get out of the way of that cannonball." So there I got it. I got my little peg leg, and that hook. What about the hook? Well, me and the boys were just out joshing around doing some your swashbuckling.
Of course. That's what pirates do.
and oops, messed around and got my hand cut off. Like, oh, like, no, don't worry about me, dude. I'm good. Look, I got my hook, and sometimes this hook works better than my hand, believe it or not. And then, but what about the patch on your eye? And he said, yeah, bird shit in my eye. But then he said, well, when does a bird shit ever blinded somebody? And he said, well, it was the first thing I got the hook.
That's funny. That was a good one, too. I have one for you. It's not a joke. It was what my mother said to me when I was 15. I had 2 boyfriends. One was from a wealthy family, and one, of course, was from the poorest of families. And guess which one I chose? The poor guy. I eventually married him.
Adventure, yeah.
And my mother said, "I don't understand you." She said, "Why didn't you choose the other guy? He's so much better and everything. And he's even cuter." And I said, "Mom, I don't like him as much. I don't care if he has money. He's not as nice." And she said, "Why do you have to be like an outhouse fly?" And I said, "What?" She said, "Why do you have to fly all around the good stuff and land on shit?" Sorry if that offended anyone.
Yeah, no, we're only talking truth
But you
here.
know what? When I think about it, T-Bone, that's what I did in drugs.
Yeah,
I had
absolutely.
this
That's
beautiful
the
life, and I
thing.
flew all around it, and I landed on the shit. I landed on the opiates.
Well, you see, that's what. Yeah, there's my phone.
Oh, no.
I guess you guys know now that we're doing this on the phone.
Let me answer.
Yeah, it may have been a caller. This is the call-in number. But anyway, it is what we're saying though.
Yes.
You had the choice between 2 things, and you chose that one. And it's the same thing with our addiction. And I'm not. See me. I see the thing about me, and now because this is the face of addiction, right?
I hear.
And the thing about me and the thing about Dora is that right now I'm coming to you from a place. I didn't read this in a book. Okay. I'm not, see, yeah, and I'm a film director, and yes, I have a great imagination, but I could not have imagined the crap that I put myself through by making that one decision. But guess what? I later on made another decision to change it. And guess what? What's happening right now on Facebook, you know how Facebook does these memory things, right?
Yeah,
they send you memories. Well, I'm getting these memories from 7 years ago, and at that time I was intensely doing some motivational speaking back then. And those quotes that I was putting out there are coming back now, and I'm putting them out there again.
There you go.
You know, I'm recycling
They still
quotes.
They're still true.
But they reminded me that I was doing this 7 years ago.
Wow.
You know, and so it's a progression. I decided then I was changing my life. I was changing my perspective on things. I was tired, like you said, sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Sure.
I was tired of, one of the things I was really tired of, I was tired of other people's crap.
Well, yeah. That's not fun.
OTC.
I got my own crap.
You know,
I need yours too.
I was tired of my life being so affected by other people's crap. You know what I mean? So I decided I was going to make my life a good place to live. And if you can fit into it, you are welcome. But if you do not, I have to let you go. I want everybody. I used to want everybody.
Me too.
Get in where you fit in.
Get in where you fit in.
I like that. Get in where you fit in.
So make a decision today to change your life. I suggest that you do what we call the 2190. The 2190 is pretty much says that if you would do anything for 21 days, it becomes a habit. A habit. They scream out of the back. A habit. And if you do it for 90 days, it becomes a lifestyle. And so what we are proposing is that every morning when you wake up for 21 days, now just do it and just be like serious about it. For 21 days, the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is think of something good.
Yeah.
As Sean would say, "Whoo, I woke up." Whew.
Yeah, that's good. You always say you always have that to look forward to.
You know,
You can always think
we're off to a real good start here. I woke up.
Woke up.
You know.
Open two gifts.
You know, a lot of you guys, if you're lucky, you roll over and you look at your significant other and say, "Oh man, how'd I get so lucky?" You know.
Well, if you're lucky, you look at
If you're lucky,
I get that lucky.
or if you had somebody there and they're finally going, you go, "Whew."
Well, how'd I get so lucky?
But seriously, think of something good, and not only think of something good, but do some real serious mental visualization.
Take a look at yourself.
Do a dream thing with your eyes wide open, then close them, and then feel the emotion. Feel the stuff that you're talking about, because everything comes along with emotion, you know. And then like listen, here's some Marvin Gaye playing in the background or something. You know what I mean? Your favorite music. Create this music. This I did a play years ago called Miss Saigon, and one of the songs in that play was The Movie in My Mind, and that's always stuck with me.
Yeah.
Create that movie in your mind of yourself. Be the star. You know, do a performance that you are sure that you're going to go and get nominated and pick up that Oscar in your brain. Okay, make it that real, make it that vivid, make it that moving. You see, because we are people that we like to move forward. Sometimes we get stuck, but we like to move forward. But those thoughts then will move you forward. And then I would suggest that you write it down on a piece of paper. I know it sounds like work, but it is work.
It is work. It
You
takes
know,
work.
if we've ever made it sound like this was easy, it ain't easy.
No.
But it ain't for everybody, because everybody don't want to do the work. And if you're one of those people that don't want to do the work, that's okay. You can still find yourself at least in a place where you have decided you want your life to be pleasant.
That's right.
But do that, and then on the back of that paper, write down this acronym: ASK. A-S-K. And it's biblical. Ask and it shall be given. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door
Will be
open. So you got to be doing those things, though, because you sit around and just waiting. There ain't nothing going to happen. You got to be out seeking what it is you want. You got to ask the people. Dora messaged me and asked me. She said, "T-Bone, I'd like to meet you." And here we are. It would never happen if she didn't ask.
And you didn't reach back. You reached back.
And I reached back, and
that was the main thing.
And the rest is history. But you gotta knock on the door, And as James Brown would say, I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Just open up the door, and I'll get it myself.
Yeah, I can walk. I can go in. Open that door.
Open up the door, man. I'll get it myself. And so ask Ask. Ask, and it shall be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be given. And then go out into your day and be prepared for the negativity, because guess what? It's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all in how you perceive, because then what I suggest you do is that you immediately replace any negative thought or action with a positive one. And I mean intentionally. If you feel some negativity, think something positive. Think about your beautiful kid or whatever it is that moves you. Replace that thought, and you'll find that if you do that for 21 days, your thought process will be in the process of changing towards your better good, towards living your authentic life, towards being you. Because you know what's good in this life? Being me.
No, being me is better than that. Being me is better than
But you being you.
Yeah,
you being you.
me.
You know, the most valuable property on the planet is what? What do you think? Trump Tower?
To me, it's my word. It's
Yes.
my word. It's my,
That's it.
that's
That trumps what I'm getting ready to say for sure. but really, from my perspective, it's the graveyard. It's the cemetery.
Ooh.
You know.
I had that totally wrong there. Totally wrong.
Oh no, you were right. No, your word is the most important thing on the planet. But when I'm saying the cemeteries, because the majority of people go to the grave with their treasure still buried deep inside of them, their gifts and the things that could have made a real difference, if not the whole world, somebody's life.
My son's a hidden treasure.
There you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. So don't let them throw you in a box and clamp it up and nail it down and throw you in a hole 6 feet deep and throw dirt on top of you.
Now that you
And then put a tombstone. Then put a
big rock on your head. At least they put a rock at the door for Jesus and put it on his head.
Yeah, don't let all that happen before you do what it is that you were meant to do. Before you do what it is that when you were born, even before you were born, in your DNA it's said in that you are good at this. Go and do it. Don't go to the grave without doing that. And that's just me. That's
The value of that grave is the same for everyone, no matter how much money you have in your
Doesn't matter. You can't take it with
The only thing
you.
that has more value than anyone else's grave is what you did before you got in it.
And time is the most important thing. Steve Jobs said a $30 watch and a $500 watch tell the same time.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna get there late anyway, no matter what I wear. Right?
Speaking of wearing, what is this you're wearing? I feel like I'm on the carpet here.
Look at this. It is. It's the red carpet. This is my debut. I'm taking over the show. Didn't I tell you that? I did say that.
Didn't I tell you I was giving it to you?
Anyway, this is my Venus.com dress.
Oh, you got that up? Yeah?
Venus.com.
Nice.
Everything
Nice.
I have comes from Venus.com.
All right, there you go. Venus.com. Did you hear that?
You can shop in your pajamas.
We're looking for sponsors out there, Venus.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, we'll get them.
Reach out to them.
We'll get them. They're done.
Reach out to
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah,
But yes,
absolutely.
I had a couple appointments before I came here today.
Well, good.
But it feels good. to
They
dress
must have been very successful.
They were. Thank you.
Well,
Thank
good,
you.
good.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm really excited because I think I'm going to give up this seat a lot more. No, a lot more. I'll come in like I came in because you guys had me so amped up. I had to come in, but I was really moved by seeing. Because we're talking about the face of addiction, I was really moved by seeing the younger version and the more experienced version. See, mature, I didn't say old.
Okay, you can say it. As long as I get my Social Security in September, you can call me anything.
All right.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's that money you just back up to the mailbox. Love that.
Oh, yeah, what's going on? Mailbox probably won't be able to fit it all, you bet. That's Social Security.
But in between you two is all this other stuff. But what we saw is that the story is pretty much the same.
We're not much different, are we?
Yeah, the story is pretty much the same. It's somebody that whether it was by accident went to a doctor, and that's usually the case. That's kind of like the 70% of the story. But there's some people that what I find is some people that they have what they call opioid or drug or whatever eclair abuse disorder. Can't stop eating them eclair.
It took me a minute. Or the Dunkin' Donuts with the raspberry.
Yeah, or the opiates or alcohol or whatever it is. Some people have a capacity or propensity or whatever the word is to get addicted. Where some people can take the medicine, put it down, and keep on moving. You know what I
I
mean?
have a friend that's been taking Vicodin, 10 milligram. He breaks it in half. He takes 1.5 a day.
And stays on schedule.
And he's
Never
been
runs
like that
out.
for 20 years.
Yeah.
He has extra every month.
Yeah, I'd run out.
He took him to the pharmacy and disposed of them, actually.
I guess Don, I hear you over there. I guess you're giving us some kind of sign over there or something.
getting
How much
to the end?
time we got, producer?
4 minutes.
We got 2 minutes.
2
We
minutes.
got 2 minutes.
So why
So,
four fingers
Coming
up?
back in to tell everybody I love them.
yeah, come on back in.
on,
Hey, Sean.
Christy.
Hey,
Hey,
Sean.
love you too.
Sean, you did a great job of just hanging in there with these tigers. I wrote on there, and it came up as Chris. I said, Sean, I put you in the tiger's den, you know, because they had so much related. But it was so good to have the contrast of the guy who won't take them, who
That's right.
who has the opportunity. Look, it's a one big happy family here.
Aw, get in here, Sean. Get in here, aw, group hug.
Hey guys, if nobody told you they love you today, let us be the first. We love you. We
love you.
love you. It's
Love you.
it's always we pray every time we come on here that maybe somebody's touched with anything that we say. We know that everything doesn't work for everybody. This is just a reality, but I hope that there's something that's said that touches you and reaches you and moves you on to perhaps want to live your authentic life, to want to
Be your best you.
Be your best
Be
you.
your best you.
Because that's what we're born here to do.
That's right.
And
know.
send
We're here to be
us in
happy.
your stories, like
Yeah.
what
Yes.
made you start, and I mean, we all know everyone's got every reason in the world that they think in their mind to start, and only one reason to stop.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, amen.
That's what we want to hear, success stories.
Yeah, we want to hear
the ones
success
that
stories.
need the success story.
And you're welcome to come in to the show as well. Just give us a call. I think the number's posted up there somewhere. If not, would you type it right there for him, please? 941-536-6761. Feel free if you're moved to want to share your story. If you see how liberating it's been for Dora and you want that same thing, we got it. It's over here. Come get it.
You'll find this smile.
You'll
I
find
promise.
it. All right, parting shots, everybody.
Bye.
Well, thoughts?
Oh, thoughts? I thought you
Yeah,
said
part-
shots. And they came.
Oh, one shot. One tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, 4. No.
Excuse me.
This is
No
not that kind of show.
No tequila, this girl.
Parting shots. Bye-bye. Hey, listen, we were on YouTube. Go and check out the YouTube version of this show. You get to see some transition. This is our little girl out in Nashville. She sings this song. Yeah, we love her.
So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken